Hi folks, this is Jake. Hope you're okay today. We're looking at Jesus and the Eyewitnesses by Richard Bauckham, the Gospels as Eyewitness Testimony 2006. We're looking at some really heavy duty scholarship, and that's what I hope to do on this site. Is we'll be looking at anything that about historical Jesus studies or anything that can strengthen our faith with good scholarship. This is what this channel is all about. And we're looking at a book that I read that I found a very help from one of the top scholars in this field of historical Jesus studies. Now, in Bauckham's book, he mentions Polybius, and he quotes on page 10 Bayer Skog as an academic scholar. He writes, having established the key role of the eyewitness testimony in ancient historiography, Bayer Skog argues that a similar role must have been played in the formation of the gospel tradition. Page 10. Polybius is one historian. Polybius was a Greek historian. We'll just get some information here. I've studied this writer, but I haven't got my notes. I don't, unless they're somewhere else. So yeah, Polybius is an ancient Greek historian noted for his work, The Histories, which covered the period of 264 to 146 BC in detail. Polybius was born in Arcadia around 200 BC. He was the son of Lycurgus, a Greek politician, and became cavalry commander of the Achaean leagues. His father's opposition to Roman control of Macedonia resulted in his imprisonment. Polybius was then deported to Rome, where Lucius Aemilius Paulus employed him to tutor his two sons. Polybius had the opportunity to return to Macedonia in 152 BC. This is Wikipedia. Sorry for this. I have studied Polybius primary source material, not just Wikipedia. See what I can get. So you can get, we'll just look at the Greek Polybius histories. Yep, we got it here. So you're right. This is how he writes. My history begins. This is the starting point of history. The history. This is in just see what. Sorry about this. He writes in his histories, had the praise of history been passed over by former chronicles, it would perhaps have been incumbent upon me to urge the choice and special study of records of this sort as the readiest means men can have of correcting their knowledge of the past. But my predecessors have not been sparing in this respect. They have all begun and ended, so to speak, by enlarging on this theme, asserting again and again that the study of history is in the truest sense an education and a training for political life, that the most instructive, or rather the only method of learning to bear with dignity the vicissitudes of fortune is to recall the catastrophes of others. It is evident, therefore, that no one need think it his duty to repeat what has been said by many, and said well. That's just a little bit of Polybius histories, just to get some primary source materials, so we're not doing shoddy work. But the point is, if you read Polybius, this is the point. Sorry for labouring this. Let's just Bauckham quotes him. Having established the key role of eyewitness testimony in ancient historiography, Bauckham argues that a similar role must have been in the formation of the gospel tradition. So here's the point. What some thinkers, historians did, is they looked at Polybius and they saw that Polybius, when you read his histories, he goes on midway through his book, he talks about, if you're going to be a good historian, he chastises bad historians. If you're going to be a good historian, you need to go and talk to eyewitnesses. And so if there was a battle in your time and you wanted to write about it as a historian, you were expected to go to the scene and talk to the people who would have been there. And this was standard practice amongst ancient historians, especially after the time of Polybius, because he influenced this kind of writing. So what that means is, when we come to the Gospels, for example, if we come to the Gospel of Luke, it says, chapter 1, for as much as many have taken in hand to set forth in order a declaration of those things that are most surely believed among us, even so they delivered them unto us, which from the beginning were eyewitnesses and ministers of the word. It seemed good to me also, having had perfect understanding of all these things, the very first to write unto thee in order, most excellent Theophilus. So when we read that, it's actually very, if not exactly the same, the way Polybius would see how to write history. So what that means, when we're reading the Gospels, we look at it in its historical context. The Gospel writers are writing as history. They're using the typical methods that ancient Greek and Roman historians would use. That puts a big question on coming at the Gospels as if they're just myth, because they're not. They're being written as serious historical material, as a testimony to the life of Jesus. And this is verified when we look at ancient writing, ancient historiographical writing. We'll get on to more of this.